Magic.
You say under coven?
No.
Welcome to Under Coven with Sam
and Katie, the spiritual podcast for regular people.
Cool people. Fun people.
Just not boring people.
We hope you love it.
What I wanted to talk about is this. You're not gonna be surprised.
Okay.
But this idea of like, I'm like have this corporate job, right? I'm like working, I'm media training, I'm doing all of these things. And I took a risk this morning during a business meeting and I started talking about tarot during the meeting. And there's like a lot on the line in terms of like potential income that could come in from this.
Yeah.
And I was like,
is this media training?
yeah, I was just like, this is like someone that's going to help us grow the business.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a little risk and start just talking about it. Immediately change things for the better. She started opening up about like something. She's like, well, you would never predict this about me. She like has this whole Hallmark hobby, but I
love that.
Right? It just had me thinking, I am so in my head still about like, I literally think about my tarot thing as like coming out of the closet. It's the closest thing I can think of literally because it feels like a part of myself that I have kept hidden for so many years now. And if how will it change things if I am my whole self in an environment? Right. And I have been really lucky so far and fortunate that so far it's been really well received.
Yeah.
But I know that that's not always going to be the case.
Really? Oh my God. I can picture someone being like, that's weird.
Or
or just like shutting down.
I can't.
Of course you can. That's why you're like not saying it.
Yes.
It's so fascinating because this whole story to me, because there's no part of me that I have hidden, right? There's like literally nothing. But
that's not very relatable.
But well, A, it's not relatable, but B, the part about it, well, I'll tell you why I've done it and how freeing it is. But the like overcompensate on the other side, and it's even something that came up in therapy once, because I like feel the need to explain myself to people. Because I am this way. It's like I meet these new neighbors and I'm like, I'm the hippie mom. I don't give them these medicines. I feed my kids this way. I roll around in the mud and I'm like crazy, whatever. Like I feel the need to explain who I am. Yeah. And one time Kelly was like, what would happen if you just were and then people received it? Because this is who I am. It's not like I need to tell people. You very quickly figure it out. But I literally say that in text sometimes. I'm like, once you get to know me, you'll quickly realize I am XYZ. Because I feel like I need to lay out exactly who I am versus keeping any of it hidden. It's like I do the opposite.
I don't so I understand the principle of like just letting people decide who you are or like leaving space for that. But it did help us get connected. Because we both are like a little woo-woo and you're maybe more than me, right? Let's be honest. But that identity helps us meet
and that
through a mutual effort, right? So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I see what you mean of like, you're putting yourself in a box before you even let anyone else decide who you are.
Exactly. And like I was saying to you about the boxes, I'm not necessarily in this one box, right? Like that's not everything about who I am.
No, you have like an actual big girl corporate job.
Yeah. And the part about why there's nothing about myself that I keep hidden, like granted to the world maybe, but like to people that if I know you and I encounter you briefly, I probably have told you everything like one-on-one, right? There's nothing about me that I would hide in general. But the reason for sure that I can say that is because I've said this to you before also, like I had body image issues, I had self-love issues, and I've had an eating disorder. And that in and of itself, I was so shameful about it. I kept that hidden for so long. And it was really hard for me to tell Michael. I remember I told him in like it was like a couple years into our relationship. So I guess I was in my mid to late 20s. And then eventually I told my mom. And it was scary because it was also, it's like, it's something you hide from these people and you're supposed to. Not that Michael was in my life when I had one, But my mom, of course,
I'm surprised that you hid it from your mom.
you're so ashamed when you're doing it. And I never wanted her to feel like there was something she was doing wrong by like not knowing or by not helping me. But as soon as I said it was like no longer, it didn't hold this whimsy that it held. It didn't like, it wasn't who I was, because it's not who I was. A period of difficulty I went through. But now getting that out, it was like, this big weight that this shameful hidden thing that I carried around for so long. And while you're in it, you're kind of desperately seeking help and wanting no one to know at the same time.
Yeah.
So like once it was all out there, and I was like, I think I'm on the other side of having healed it myself and all that jazz. So it was easier to come to terms with it by telling people. But that piece, letting that go, and it was like, oh, this thing that you're so ashamed of that you're afraid of telling people, that nobody else is like looking at you and hating on you for it, right? You're only hating on yourself.
Right.
So now I'm like, what is there to lose?
I think what's so interesting is I think there are so many people in positions like me where it's like you look at someone like you and you're like, I'm free. I have nothing to hide. Like I'm an open book. And it's like this mirror that you don't want to see, because you're like, well, no, but like you like but like what I've gone through, or my shame is like bigger or too much, and like it's not true, but it can feel very uncomfortable to be. And I think I make people feel similarly, even just, I'm not as far along as you, but that I am, like, compared to a lot of people that I interact with on a daily basis, a lot more open. Naturally.
You are open. I've never say that you're closed, but obviously I see this side of you that tells me all of this stuff.
Right. But I think I am naturally very open too. And I think that it can make people uncomfortable that are so closed off and like so like either like it mirrors something in them where they either want to be more open but are too afraid, or like it's like there's such a culture and like a group of people like in society around like the mask is like the goal.
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
True.
It like
True.
It's weird, like they put down where actually it's like so much fucking stronger to be on the other side of it and to work through the shame and to like actually go in.
Yeah.
But like there's this weird thing in our society where there's like power in masking it and like pushing it down, and like the more you can just be like a bully or be like fuck off.
Right.
And like have this demeanor, like that's celebrated.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I also think I was just never built for it. Like I'm incapable of lying.
Yeah, I see that.
Like I turn bright red and get like sweaty and freak out. Like you will know, or I just like stumble over my words, which I never normally do. Like you will know if I'm not being truthful.
Yeah.
And I've been that way since I was a kid.
Me too. No, I'm similar.
So I think if I was hiding things, I would act really like jumpy and weird, or I feel like I was lying, and that's not like I'm just not made for it.
I think both of us were born without a mask, and I think that it can be off-putting for some people that are like so good at wearing it, or like we're taught to wear, or like, wait, why aren't you performing the way everyone else is in society?
Yeah, I remember when I was messaging these neighbors that I'm referring to and saying who I was, one of them was like, well, good for you. Got to be yourself. And I remember being like,
Oh, that's kind of weird.
it was weird. But I was also like, I don't even think of like, of course I am myself. Like, I don't,
But was that like condescending?
I don't think so. I think she's one of the people you're referring to.
Okay.
Where she was like, good, that it's amazing that you can be this way because I can't be this way. But I was like, it was such a weird moment because I was like, yeah, why wouldn't I be myself?
And it can be so, can we just call it out for a second? Like being the friend that like is out there and that like does decide to go there or like push it or like be like open when everyone else is like wants to like taste it, or like that can be exhausting to be that friend all the time.
Well, it is you. You know what else I was just thinking when you were saying that, especially with us? I think you, and I don't want to necessarily put you in this box, like it might be a wealth related, it may or may not, but you grew up here.
Yeah.
It's a very affluent area.
Yeah.
It's also there. Whether you want to call it a mask or not, it's like very high society.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the circle.
I literally like my skin is crawling right now, but you're right.
So I think you were, whether it was like not necessarily your home life or whatever, but your exposure was what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm having a hard time relating because I I wasn't in those shoes. Like I
You're saying this very like respectfully and sweetly, but I appreciate it. There's a way you could have said this that was like more direct.
okay.
No, I appreciate it. You're snooty and you were wearing. That like makes obviously like I hate that.
Well, you like belong to a country club, and
I know.
there's that, but those are the people that you're relating to,
Yeah.
and that's why you're the friend that
Where's
goes
the
there that.
vomit bucket?
But I feel like it's exhausting to be that person.
Yes.
But I can't relate because I'm like, I don't know what situations you're talking about where it is that way, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's so fair. That makes you feel like a fucking asshole. Like, I know.
You're well, we wouldn't be friends if you.
I know, but like, I don't want to like. Oh God, you just totally called me out in a good way. In a good way.
I didn't mean to.
No, I know. I'm like reflecting back though. Like, I think that's always been like, God, I do not. In no way am I feeling sorry for myself. Jesus, let me say that first. But like it's not. That's not like something I like want to identify with as being like wealthy. I don't know. Like,
Right.
sure. Do I want to like make my own money? Yes.
Yeah.
But there's something.
That like high society.
Oh my God. And like,
vibe. But you don't like get it. You're not
good.
You're not obnoxious or
Good. No, and like just like I remember literally having a therapy session when I was like 22 about this, being like, there are people like starving. Like, how do you live when you know that it, well, especially right now in the world? Holy shit, we're not getting into that. But how do you reconcile your own privilege and like all of this? And that makes me deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm now at the place where I'm like, okay, well, if one of those people that's in a terrible situation could be in my position, what would I want them to do? Like fucking live.
Right.
Like take advantage of this shit. Like
exactly.
go for it. So that's
well, you
where
have to be struggling.
being
Like
I know
and then whatever.
being like a right, like, oh, I can't enjoy it because I didn't earn it. Cool. Like, but that's like not helpful, or like that's just like almost feeling sorry for myself.
Right.
Versus be like, no, like go for it. Like
work hard where it can go because of it, right? Like you have this opportunity, you can take it to the next level.
yeah.
Totally. It's
But in general, right now, you like
you want to die.
spiders, like, oh my God. I hate talking about this. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's who you are.
Well, no, it's interesting because every time when you say like, when we talk to other people about this, whatever, and you say, that third glass of wine, when people then want to talk about this, and I'm like, I don't need any of the glasses of wine. What is she talking about? Like, I know what you're describing, but at the same time, I'm like, I will ask someone this question the minute I need.
Do you think it's a class thing? Or
No, not completely. I'm just saying what you're describing right now.
And I hate that it just says class, but like, what the fuck? Like, are we like the 1600s?
You're like this the way society perceives us.
I know.
Like, yeah, maybe where you're kings and queens, but like also still now to a degree.
No, but I mean like, as I don't necessarily like, I don't know, like, I think that people in any sort of like socioeconomic status, I don't think that necessarily people that are like, I don't know, God, I don't want to offend anyone, like a blue collar worker could still be very uncomfortable talking about this shit.
100%.
It's like, you know what I mean? That I think
I'm not saying it's related to the fact that
you just wanted to call.
No, specifically what you were saying about the masks part.
Yeah, okay.
About not being able to show this side of yourself.
Okay.
And the people that you encounter, I'm saying because your circle and your upbringing was in this way, that it feels more hidden, like there's pieces of you that you can't show.
Fair.
In this world, right?
Yeah.
And the Christianity, like there's a lot of factors at play here. It's not just because you belong to a country club. I'm just saying.
No, yeah.
One section of that, I don't have that relatability because I had a more standard upbringing. I don't know necessarily. It's not like I grew up in an affluent area too, right? Like but I think now we're gonna go down a whole rabbit hole. Like I have weird financial connection because of it too, like we all do.
Yeah.
It's not specific to that point.
Right.
Just what you're saying.
I think also
Having to be perceived a certain way, I feel like is sort of tied to that.
The circles were very buttoned up.
Exactly.
That I rolled in. And very like, right, you have to Right, act a certain way. Exactly. And it's like throw religion in there too. Holy shit.
Right. There's so many factors
Yeah.
at play here.
And it just is the perfect bow of like performing and doing what
Why now you feel
being a good
scared
girl.
to be like, okay, but let me show you this part over here too. Not only this buttoned up version of Katie.
Right. And it's almost once you start like pulling back the pieces of who you are without these pieces, it's terrifying. Because forever, like the identity is, well, no, I'm a daughter or I'm a sister or I'm a wife or even a mom. What are you beyond that? Like, oh, well, my identity is my career.
Yeah.
What else? Right. And you keep pulling and you keep pulling. And it's like, oh my God, I'm naked.
Yeah. But that is the ultimate spiritual depiction that you're describing. Because, like, if we're really getting to the nitty gritty, like, the ultimate form of spirituality is just
Being naked.
no, just speaking.
Yeah. I know.
Right?
I know.
But that's so hard to relate to as a human because you do check off all these things that you're like, well, I was once with a friend forever ago. And for whatever reason, this conversation really stuck because he was describing this girl that he was like kind of seeing and she really wanted something and he was not going to see it that way. And when he talked about her, he was like, yeah, she's just very much like, I like this type of music and I wear this type of clothes and I like this. And then therefore this is who
Checking the boxes.
and he was like, there's so much more depth and from a soulful perspective, like more to things than that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, huh. Like, I don't see people that way, but I so understand why that is how people feel the need to define themselves.
Yes.
But that's also what I was saying about like growing and changing and evolving and whatever, like defining yourself keeps you small.
It does. And there's so much of my life that I thought about spirituality or like even what's wrong with me or like, because I always identified as spiritual or like, you're right. And I think a lot of people connect with like, yeah, like their grandparents send them a sign or there's some sort of that sort of connection always very much resonated with me. And then like I pushed it away and it's like, this is this part of me. And especially because I was religious, how do you like reconcile those two things? If it's not spiritual through religion, how does that work?
Right.
So once I like started picking that, I would almost call it like a scab because it's like digging in and it's so uncomfortable. Yeah. And that's something I kept hidden for so long. And now I'm just being a little bit more open around like tarot and even like sticking my feet in the fucking earth to start the day, right? Or like trying different things spiritually. I think even being open about seeing a therapist, like there's so much that still needs to change. Obviously, it's becoming more accepted, but I like wanted friends like this to talk about this stuff at the office with. Like, I would have killed for like a moment of like realness in terms of like, okay, was the energy in that room kind of weird when we walked out of that meeting? Or just it's okay to like dabble in this world and still be really taken really fucking seriously. Yeah. And that I still haven't totally connected to my brain. I believe it logically, but that's where like the fear for me of being fully seen is like, I will not get taken seriously if I'm pulling a tarot card.
I think that part is still societal because it is becoming more widely accepted. It is becoming more in your face. And part of why we've even created this is because it seems like it's a spectrum.
Yeah.
But there's only two ends of the spectrum. There's no middle.
Yes.
So you're either like incredibly human and into pop culture and like
or like headless down and
or business or corporate or whatever, like that end. And then the other end are these like elevated spiritual beings who take themselves so seriously that they can't even have these conversations.
And they only talk like that.
Exactly. And your guided meditation, and let me say, right? And there's no in between. Like obviously I believe there's in between because I exist in the in between.
You do.
And so that is. We're just trying to expose more of that because I believe all of us are actually in the in-between, right?
Yeah.
Like even the people we're referring to that are at the one end of the spectrum in the pop culture and whatever, like I guarantee you they stick their feet in the sand or they journal or they believe in manifestation or whatever the fuck their entry point is.
that's my entire point. And I think everyone does have an entry point, whether you're like, no, I'm not spiritual at all. Yes, you fucking are. We'll find a way that you are. Where you like saw a sign after your grandparent died. You like there's something that happened in your life that didn't feel like a coincidence. There's like I guarantee you, like whatever you want to call it, everyone has some sort of connection, like connecting with people, being able to walk in a room and like say that the vibe is,
Yeah.
explain that.
Right.
Like,
Right. And I was thinking about the other day, and it was definitely something I wanted to talk about to you here, but I would have forgotten. So I'm glad it's coming back up. The concept of soulmates, not the concept itself, the fact that humans will widely say that phrase, and some people will say they believe it and some people will say they don't. But the concept of a quote unquote soulmate is about your soul.
yes.
And people, they've somehow don't relate it to that.
That reminds me
Isn't
of like
that bizarre?
the like the dumb girl at the wedding that's like, yeah, I found my soulmate and like it's just the best. Right. The concept is that, but
The concept is soulful.
Yeah.
It's the depth of your connection is tied transcender. Exactly. And that's a whole conversation for another time about belief in soulmates or not. But I do believe that our souls are connected previously and then find each other again, whatever.
well, now you have to say a little bit more about what you believe.
Well, about soulmates themselves. I think this is one of those answers that's tough because you don't know what you've heard versus what's yours. And the answer I want to say I've definitely heard before, but I think I believe it. I do believe in soulmates, but I think we have multiple of them. I think like our souls are tied to these groups of souls, and then we reincarnate or whatever phrase you want to use together, just in different flavors.
Yeah.
So like my husband is 100% my person.
Yeah.
Like we are made for each other in so many ways. And sometimes I fucking hate him on my normal life.
Yes.
There's, do I believe that in our previous life we were married? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we were best friends. Maybe we were whatever. Like a reader once told us that, and I was like, ew. But I believe my kids are. Yeah. Do I know that Everly and Maddox were my children in a previous life? Maybe not, but I believe my soul is deeply connected to them, and like they're my soulmates too.
I feel similarly. I think there's also people that you meet, like when we first met, where it's like, oh, this is not like any mask I did have down.
Right.
There's no try.
I know that's why I can't relate to you saying that either, because I'm like, I met you and you were immediately who you are.
But how do you know if you are like, if you're like that all the time, how do you know when you're like connected to someone?
Because they would connect to me authentically. What do you mean?
I know, but like, how do you discern? For me, the tell is dropping the mask, the little mask that I have.
Yeah.
And like, that's how I know somebody.
That if you were just always that way and then you didn't vibe with someone as yourself, that would make sense.
Maybe, but I'm not.
Like there are reasons why people are close in your life and like they stick around versus ones you meet, you like see every now and then. You're like, hi, you're nice, whatever.
Yeah, it's almost like
the connection.
It's almost like show me yours first, or I'll show you mine first. And you showed me yours, and you're like, cool. I'm like, cool. I'll show you mine.
Yeah, I guess if I just show up as me, and then people are gonna show up as who they are, and then they're either my people or they're not.
Yeah. Which is a lot faster way to do it. I'm just not totally there yet.
It's funny because it's not strategic. It's just how I exist in the world.
I think for me though, opening up and being like vulnerable and authentic feels like it's like harder in some ways or like more of a disappointment to like share something and then not get something back. So that's how I think that there's like a level of self-protection in there.
I get that. I totally get that because when I can relate in that way, like when
you're trying so hard to like lay it out there and be honest or vulnerability
makes sense because I feel like the trying so hard part, like if you just show up as you're not trying,
That's
right?
true.
But the vulnerability aspect, if you like share something deep and then someone's just like, oh, you're like, fuck.
Like, gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah, like, all right.
Yeah.
But then that's not your person, and then don't waste any more time.
Well, and in talking about fear in general, like that is, for me, it's definitely like some flavor of what other people think
Yes.
is my
But okay, here I have a question.
okay.
Because we talked about this and like talking about that we were going to chat about fear as a whole. Like I can articulate deeply what I am afraid of,
Yeah.
like at its core, right? Like some of my biggest quote unquote fears.
Right.
But what you just described, like things that people think or whatever, are we afraid? Define fear versus triggers, because being triggered by and being sensitive to the way people think about you, like
Yeah.
I can relate to that, right? I do care about what people think. I would love to not care at all, but there's half of me that doesn't give a fuck, and there's half of me that cares and thinks about it totally.
Yeah.
They both exist. But I don't think I'm afraid of it. I think I just like worry about it for some reason.
I think
I'm triggered by it, I guess. I don't know if that's the best phrasing. But like, I don't think I'm afraid of what people think about me, but I think I am sensitive to it or bothered by it or sometimes consumed by it, whatever. I think we all are.
yeah,
But I don't know if I describe it as a fear.
the fear is that somehow like by being myself, my reputation goes down in terms of like being taken seriously in like a corporate or news or like a high stakes environment.
That I makes sense. Like the fear, you have a fear of being yourself for XYZ reason. You got it rooted at it. You have a fear of like fully exposing yourself. That's the rooted fear.
Yes.
I don't know what my rooted fear is as to why I care about what people think. I don't,
But it is human.
Sure.
Well, and I think about like from like a 5,000 years ago tribal perspective of being cast out and then you would die, right? So if people don't like you, then you're not accepted by society. You like literally die, right?
Well, maybe there's some ancestral reasoning behind mine. I kind of like that. I do like to have reasons behind things.
Well, and the whole like being burned at the stake thing. I mean, that
Yeah, maybe that's part of being a weirdo is like not. Yeah.
which I do think I was a witch, which I know I think every like slightly woo girl is like,
Right. Yeah. I'm sure I was. I don't know that I like deeply feel that.
oh, I like in
Yeah.
6th grade saw the movie and had to go be sent home early
Real.
from the Salem witch trials because I like was nauseous.
Oh, that's fucking cool. I mean, not a 6th grader, but now to tell that
It's
story, that relation to it.
To this day, like I want to go to Salem at some point, but there's so much.
Let's go.
I have so many feelings about it.
No, let's go. I'm
Like
gonna
saw it on
see you.
I know, like I start like I need like a fucking exorcism.
Yeah. Oh my God, we have to go. Okay, so I think that shit's really cool. My friend, we're getting on a separate tangent. My friend, who's one of my like deeply spiritual connections, she's been like a teacher for me in this life.
In the life.
She sorry, just the way I talk, okay. She went to, there was like an Egyptian exhibit at like the Met or something. I know this was forever ago. And she had like a visceral experience when she walked in and was like brought to tears just from like,
Isn't that so weird that can happen?
weird. I can't say I've had that. Like there are things that I deeply connect to. So I feel like they existed in XYZ form.
Yeah.
But I've not had like that kind of experience. So you describing yours to me, I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
It was not cool in the moment.
Right.
But it's
Well, even what, 12?
yeah.
Sounds terrible.
No, it was awful. But I think that's the whole where how do you explain that? Right? What is okay, like logic your way into well, yeah, like it was were the images disturbing? Sure. Like enough to get sent home from school? No.
No.
Like
I know so much of this shit can't be explained, and we can have episodes on mediums or signs or things that have happened to us, but that I think everyone is a little bit spiritual.
yes.
I think whatever your entry point is great. Like for you before talking about religion and how that made it the opposite for you, whereas like you hit this part, it was actually my entry point. Like I had conversations with God, like my religious upbringing was a close spiritual connection.
Mhm.
And we were Catholic, but not like deeply rooted Catholic. So my cousins went to Catholic school and they have some of the Catholic issues, but like I didn't.
Yeah.
So I don't have that negative Catholic connection. But that was one of my entry points. And then my brother died. So it brought me back to my spiritual roots in a totally different way. But whatever your entry point is, it doesn't matter. We all have whatever the thing is. And I think
I think well, the God thing I think I still believe in God. But the thing that has always resonated with me so much is like I keep talking about family members that have passed and like that connection, right?
Oh, as I was going to say, people have like things that they're willing to accept as small and yes. And then the more you open yourself up to it, it grows.
Yeah.
And then there's like undeniable things that you're like, okay, this is 100%. There's no way to turn a blind eye to this or pretend it's not real. And then sometimes you go off the deep end and you go where we're going to go and like really go down that path. And then sometimes you stay in that space and you're like, cool, I believe that I can manifest things and I believe that there's something else. So that's where it ends, right?
The crazy thing for me so far in all of this is the more that I've like leaned into being myself, and I started talking about this, but it has only been positive.
Yes.
Which is great and also terrifies me because it's like the waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Let's talk about that. Come on in.
Well, I think
What of it are you afraid of?
well, there's always when something's really good, there's always like things can't always be really good.
Why not?
Uh-huh.
Help me, why not?
Well, I think you don't. Do you believe that things can always be really good?
You had asked me when I was 25, I would have said yes. Then I had the worst trauma that could ever happen to me happen. And then I was like, wow, life can actually suck a lot. But I was thinking about that on the way over here because I think there's a realness in believing that life is really hard. Yeah, it is.
Yes.
And I think sometimes we dwell in it too much as that like relatability piece. Because like, okay, my twins are 2. It has been so many difficult things have happened. And I'm like, how the fuck have we made it this far? They're like, it's nonstop, whatever. It's also the most beautiful and incredible and wonderful thing. And they are the best. But I think when I'm really at my breaking point and something really bad has happened, like Evelyn's eardrum ruptured or whatever, and I lost my shit, it's like those moments of like, wow, life is really hard. That's a realness to being human. And then you talk about that so much that's like the energy you're living in. And it's like, yeah, life, we're humans. The human existence is difficult.
Yes.
It's also really magical.
Yes.
And so do I believe everything can be good? Yeah. Why not? That happens for people. And do those people also lose family members? Do those people also like have stress that they deal with? The stress we all create. So that can be gone. And it's coming from someone who's a highly fucking stressed human, but I know that I create it all.
I don't believe that totally. I don't think stress is avoidable to some degree as being a human being. Having responsibility.
Why does the responsibility have to be stressful?
Oh gosh, I just think like in general, like the awesomeness of like taking care of a human to me, like I don't know.
That's hard. Parenting is inherently stressful, but I think if remove parenting from it, I think every other stress that we have is created. People have work stress.
But it's like caring for people, right? I think in general, like we all care for each other as human beings, and I don't think you can let them
that has to be stressful. I'm just thinking about the mindset of it, right?
Fair.
Is like work. I've had jobs that were like horribly, horribly, horribly stressful, but like
people get addicted to it.
I kind of chose it. Like I decided to bring my work home and be stressed about it. I decided to not put down goals. I decided to let that come through. And I happen to have a job right now that is 0% stressful. Literally 0%.
That's insane.
It's insane and it's fantastic. Making me know that it's possible to have this exist.
Yeah.
And then the same thing goes with like financial stress. We have a lot of financial stress that's true and real. And if we wanted to get rid of it, we could live smaller lives.
Yeah.
We could make choices that made it not stressful. We could have a different perspective over the fact that like we also live a nice, comfortable life. We are overexerting ourselves probably, and we don't need to be. So a lot of stress is created. The other reason why I can confidently say that is because so much of my stress before I was ever a kid was around this body image stuff. Like what I put in my body, I stressed about and thought about it all fucking day long. I ate so healthy. Like I was so, and it was initially, it came from a good place that it went under this guise of wellness that I was like healthy, but really I was obsessed with
what I put in my body and so stressed about it. That's what was my breaking point. I was like, I don't want to fucking be stressed about this anymore. And now I don't think about it for 1 second. There is no stress.
And you
around
feel
me.
that yourself?
Yeah, that's a topic for another day.
Wow.
I know. But 0%. I do not 1 ounce of thought goes into my brain of like, this is what I should or shouldn't be eating. But it used to consume me. So stress is created.
It is. I think too, like step 1 here for me was like talking about like why can't everything be good?
Mm-hmm. Let's go.
The eye rolliness of it, but then you start like you pick like one thing that was good in your day and then you like attach to that and it does grow on each other. Like all those little things do add up. And if you look for the goodness, that's what it's like. I forgot what the name of the theory is around all of this, but it's like, it's basically like confirmation bias, right?
Yeah.
All right, everything in my life is terrible. Yeah, traffic was really bad today. Yeah, that was really bad. Like, yeah, this just didn't work out for you. Yeah. Everything in my life is good. It feels so inauthentic when you start it. It feels cheesy. It feels
Okay.
like you're like, I bet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it feels.
Oh my God, it feels cheesy.
But I've done a lot of gratitude practices and
I have a gratitude. I have like feelings about that word.
oh, great. I feel like I probably once, I hate when I say I once or whatever, and it seems like I'm so elevated because I did these things. It's like I've been in this fixed
You've been with
shit
it
for a while. But if we talk about therapy or so many other things, you are like far elevated than me in other areas of growth. So I want to put that out.
Well, thanks.
But the I know what you mean because the gratitude piece, I definitely like starting it probably like a way long time ago. It felt contrived or created like I was making it up. But now, 1, because it's become ingrained in me, and 2, being a parent, I feel like gratitude.
Oh my God.
Oh, easy.
It is so much easier. I also grew up like essentially being told like you need to be grateful
Oh.
because we had this upbringing. Like,
Oh, that's shitty. That's a shitty feeling.
yeah. And it was never enough. That was my perception as a child.
Yeah.
So this is what I could never be grateful enough for what I had been given. So like in general, that has always like been tough
Yeah.
because
I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know how to reframe that because that's just shitty.
Yeah.
Like not feeling like you can be grateful enough. Like it's thinking about that now and that perspective. It's like, what?
Right. So that now, like I had a moment yesterday where I was like at Target shopping for shit for Mike's birthday. And like, I had just gotten myself a smoothie and like spent the morning at the pool with like my daughter and our nanny. And I'm like,
Lovely.
what a life.
Yes.
What a dream.
Yeah.
This is insane. This is like unbelievable that I get to do this.
And then there's a piece of me that's like, what's gonna be shitty?
No, I'm getting better at that.
Okay.
But like for me to get to where I am with my gratitude had to be like I had to unlearn a lot of stuff, and even calling it like that word is still triggering for me of like
Okay.
or grateful.
Right.
But it's just this feeling of like I think also like the more you take action to create the life that you want, and that sounds so even saying that out loud and like rolling my eyes at myself, but like doing things intentionally because you know that they are putting you in a place that you know you want to be, right? Like if it's exercising, if it's eating a certain way, if it's like saying no to whatever, like that is going to build on itself. And I am like, I think for the first time, maybe in my life, seeing those building blocks add up where I can be like, shit, I am fucking making this happen.
Wow.
And it feels so good, but it's not without like, I can't like look at you. We're gonna like cry.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's just, you can't, I think forcing the my point is forcing the gratitude is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, you should be grateful that you have that is like not the way to go about it.
Totally. That makes a lot of sense. And I think thinking back to like when I first started, and it felt inauthentic because people would be like, it's so easy to be grateful. Don't you grateful? No, but like, aren't you grateful? You have running water. Aren't you grateful that you have a roof over your head? And I'm like,
yeah, I should be grateful that I have those things because there are plenty of people that don't. Like, I totally get that. And I can't relate to it because that is my baseline. So, like, yes, I should be grateful that I hate that word too.
Yeah.
I should be grateful. But the things I'm like, I want for a gratitude practice to really land, like, you have to truly like feel it in your bones. Like, your energy field has to feel grateful. So I like before I go to sleep at night, in my head, that's my gratitude practice. I like list all the things I'm super grateful for at the day or whatever. And number one, absolutely every single night, I'm like, I am grateful for Kate. And but it has to be something that like I deeply feel. So it's the easy ones are like my kids, right, and my dog. Oh my god, these perfect creatures and beings. And my like, how fucking lucky
It is
am I
such a, it is,
that I get to have
yes,
them.
it's indescribable.
Yes.
I didn't know I wanted to be a mom for a long time.
Right.
And now I cannot imagine, cannot imagine.
There's nothing better. And it's so challenging and like it's the fulfillingness so outweighs any part that's hard that's why like before and I said I don't know how I survived these 2 years. Like, yes, I do, because it's been the most amazing 2 years anyone could ever have. Maybe not the first 6 months. 6 months of 2 newborns was not so right. But
it's like these problems that you have in your life, you're like, no, these are the problems I want to have.
yeah,
I think that's knowing that no matter what step you get to, no matter what like income you hit, no matter what like life opportunity you have, you are going to have problems. You are going to have reasons that you cry and feel like shit and like really shitty days. That's not going away as a human because you end up like a human.
It doesn't necessarily mean that everything's bad.
No, but I think it like
grounds it.
It does ground it. And I think it makes it like, so pick your heart.
Pick your heart.
Pick like, okay, so these are the circumstances that I want. Knowing, being honest and realistic with yourself.
It's not going to be sunshine rainbow all the time.
It's, you don't get to a certain level where you're done with the
You know what's interesting, especially lately, I've been like thinking about this. I don't know what I wanted to word it, but reflecting on it, I guess, that there's things that you want, right? And things that I want that I'm striving for. And that like a tangible example is like we're still renting for a number of reasons. But for like when we first got here, like one of our end goals that we want to buy a house, we want to stay, I want the house to look this way, and I want it to, in this area. It's like millions of dollars, which is ridiculous. But right now, like we're in where we're in, and when I go to bed and I do that exercise at night, like it's especially lately, I'm having this like reframe of it because I'm like, what do I really want?
Yeah.
Why do I want that?
Yeah.
I have everything that I want.
Yeah.
If I really think about it at the end of the day, I have and like it's a deeply like connected relationship with its hard and it's good. I have the most amazing children. I have this beautiful dog. I have wonderful friends. I have amazing parents. Like I have, what is the house or the job or the this or whatever the fuck it is that I'm looking for, what is that going to give me? Is it status? Is it showing something? One of the things I do always say that I want to live a deeply expansive life, and I do want that. But what does that mean?
I think for me, it's like time. It's your own time.
Yeah.
And like today, it took you a very long time to get here. True. But I totally get what you're saying, and I think it relates back to the whole like yes, neither of us could possibly want anything more, and you're never gonna stop.
Right, somehow we still do.
Right. So that's just,
but getting to the root of the like real why and the real reason, because I also think and that's part of manifesting.
And we both have like, it's not like we both have gone through a lot of shit to get to where we are.
Right.
And we will go through more shit to get to wherever we're going next. Right. It's they're not like but we don't need to dwell on it.
Exactly. Like I see like
you're welcome the challenge.
And you're right. Yeah. I wholeheartly am in on what you're saying. And I don't think about it that way on like a regular basis.
I don't think I do either. I think I'm correcting that part of my brain that automatically goes to the negative.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to go, well, like, whatever, the self-talk can be like.
Exactly. And then to your point, you snowball into that way instead of going up in the positive direction.
Exactly. It's, I think in some ways, right, the positive can be scarier because if you're sitting in the negative, like you're like, well, it could just go up from here. And if you're up here, then it can only go down maybe. Like, but then it's that ceiling that you put for yourself.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't have to go down.
I know. It could keep going up.
Yeah, like it's okay to cry and feel and have shitty things happen, and you can still keep going up.
Yeah.
Like that does having a shitty thing happen doesn't like wreck everything, right? Right. I mean, I guess it can. It could be a life altering thing.
Of course. But I think that's where resilience is. That's the number one thing I want to teach my kids. More than like, well, nah, I mean, being a kind human being and then resilience. Nothing in the world matters more than getting back up after you get down.
Yeah.
I think
Well, because in our society, it's like that is a skill that is going away,
it is.
especially in young children.
It is.
It's like really dwelled on this bad thing, and they like hammer that in.
Well, but then that also relates back to fear, right? And like exposing yourself for being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Being able to do that and then do it again, even if it didn't work that time.
Right.
But there is that feeling of, for me, especially as I'm working towards being more authentic all the time. Not that I'm like running around the world fake, right? But it's not going to land every time for everybody. And I know that. And I'm actually fine with that, right? Like,
well, also, this is an interesting concept because relating back to the fear aspect, like, or do we have I feel like there's levels of fear because Liz Moody on her podcast talks about this thing called the novelty rule. And it's not the same as what I'm going to say, but it's like doing something new and different, like adds in your brain conceptually like length to your life. Yeah, like it's a very cool concept. But in this way, it's like similar, but putting yourself outside of your comfort zone or tackling things that you're afraid of would have the same thing and then makes you feel so accomplished or big things like trying something new. I'm thinking about when I first taught a yoga class. Yeah, so uncomfortable. Yeah, and then it felt so great once you like got better at it, right? So I was afraid of like doing that, right? It felt really right when I got up in front of people and I started doing this. But when I think about fear as a concept, I don't think about micro fears. I think about like, maybe this is me as a person, like those big deaths. Death. Well, for me, my ultimate fear is losing the people close to me because I've experienced them, because I know how awful it is. I used to think like my ultimate fear, polarizing fear, was always death and like what happens after and the black box and whatever. And that has changed probably because I lost my brother and I've since had connection with him. So I'm like, oh, I know there's something more. So I don't have that fear still exists to a degree, but my fear now is so much more about losing these people.
Yeah.
And like, then I'm like, if I died, I'm actually more afraid of the impact it would have on them.
For sure.
Than
I'm serious.
myself dying.
And I think you've experienced something that everyone experiences at some point in their life, right? You can't escape life without it. Like, I have not yet experienced someone as close as you have.
Right.
That kind of loss. So I don't think
everyone, well, it hurts for everyone, but like
the intensity of
it, but you know you're supposed to lose your parents one day. It's going to suck, but you know it.
Yeah.
You know you're going to lose your grandparents.
Yeah.
You don't think, no, you're going to lose a child from my parents, or you're going to lose this person you're supposed to live your whole life with, your sibling.
And my brother's like one of my best friends. Right. Yeah. So I could right now thinking about
exactly. That. Like that doesn't have to happen to everyone.
Yeah, my.
So I think also there's the fear of it of like, this isn't supposed to happen. Why did this happen?
For sure.
That part of it.
Absolutely.
Now the fear translates to like even I would be terrified of something happening to Michael.
Yeah.
But like people do lose their spouses. So it's not as terrifying to me as losing my children. But I know Winston will die in my lifetime and still I'm terrified of it.
I know. But I think so your fear is like, unfortunately, like, I don't want to say valid,
Right.
but like because you've experienced such tremendous loss that was unexpected and like no one, right? It was awful. That kind of opens it up in a different way, I think. So
because that's like, I know this
Exactly.
this really happened. Therefore, experience it. So in one of my first therapy sessions, like when we were talking about it in terms of like my children, she was like, there's a basis of this of accepting reality that like this could happen. And it was like, I don't want to fucking hear those words.
Right.
No, I don't want to accept that this could happen.
No. Right.
I don't want to live like that. But it's real.
And I am like privileged, I guess, enough. I don't even know what the right word is, but like I haven't had to go there, so I haven't gone there, and I don't know what that's like. So like my fears are my day-to-day fears. I still call them fears because it can be intense, right? And I think it's like everything's based on your own experience, right? But like in the grand scheme of things, they're a different. Sometimes they feel like a life or death, even though they're not.
No, but I mean, like I have them too. 100%.
But I think maybe because you have that depth of like knowing what it really fucking
Right, yeah, that I don't look at them as fear. Yeah, like that's just like my daily life, right? It's just like, oh, that's there, but I'm like, oh, if I talk about fear, this is what right immediately what I
Of course,
you know.
and that makes sense because you have a different and like a deeper perspective than I do on it.
I guess.
You do,
Yeah.
through your own experience.
Right. Or it's just like, but I also like shun it in a way. Like I don't want to feel it. I don't want,
Of course, that's but you have and you know what that's like.
Yeah. So it's like I also have the fear of the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like
Which is probably why I'm like, well, I can't. Why? What do you mean things have to be bad? Because I don't even want to believe that. I don't want to face that. So my fears, I think, are actually much deeper and stronger and like more regular and on a daily basis than yours. That I pretend they're not there.
maybe. I think too, to your point that like bad days or weeks or months, like versus like a bad life, right? Like we're gonna experience shit. And it's again so much easier for me to sit here and be like, it's gonna be hard when people I love die.
Yeah.
I can like it like even trying to get into that mindset, like I immediately go numb. So I can't even imagine like it's just like a turning off, right? Like how do you process something like that? It's crazy how emotions can be so physical. And I'm sure you've experienced that.
Yeah. Yeah. It hurts.
Like physically. I think they've done studies on that there's like pain, like the pain that you can feel from.
Well, I think that's why like the body keeps the score and all those things exist. Like if you don't heal or face these things, which now that I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I am this person. They manifest as like physical ailments, like diseases and things like that. That's why all of this is connected and all of it's mindset.
Well, that's how can you not be spiritual? Like knowing, like the more you study science, the more like how do you not get more spiritual?
Which people would argue the opposite, but I totally agree with you. Yeah, like people see it as either scientific or spiritual, but let's pull some cards. Let's
see. Let's have Sam ask a question.
Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on in my world, but I need answered. Okay. Well, I was just on the phone with my aunt on the way over here, and I was describing to her all the things that have recently gone on, and she's just like, whoa, like, oh man, Sam, that's so much. It's so heavy, so much. She's like, all I can think about is like, how are you supporting you? Like you're always there for everybody else. I'm like, how? And I was like, well, I'm doing work like I do endure. I'm slowing down. I'm doing all these things. But I think, am I doing it to like a just surface level, right? Like what do I need to do? What do I need to hear of like, I don't know, like what I need to take in my journey or I don't know, like what simplify, like what is it that I need to
I'm getting
take
okay. Give me a second to like process this.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there's definitely like a leave behind element. I think there's still more that you should and can be doing. So I've got like the 5 of swords, I've got the 8 of cups, the chariot, the star, the 2 of wands. The overall message is the leave behind. There's still more that you can kind of like that's like not working in your day-to-day that you can like simplify or outsource or do something to like it's still too much. And then you know that.
Yeah.
The 8 of cups in particular, it's like something around like mental load. So it's like household stuff.
Yeah.
That you need help with.
Yeah. That's true.
And then the star and the chariot, I mean, there's something about you, yes, putting yourself first, like you being the star. I take that literally as like, you need to like, right, put your own needs first. And then there's an urgency to that. And like, and also like just like the chariot is like sitting on like a like a throne, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you like, I don't know, if you get home and you really want to do something like involve the kids in something that you want to do, or like make it like about you though.
Okay.
Like you're the basis of it.
Yeah.
And then everyone goes around you.
This is okay. That's very hard for me to do. And that's literally what I'm working on in therapy because I live my life for everybody else.
No.
This is just, and maybe it's not in the cards at all, but it's hitting me.
Yeah, well, no, more.
But even in just that pull alone is like fun.
Yeah.
Like there's limited fun elements. Of course, I have fun with my children, but just like pure fun for having fun.
You got the cherry to get.
Yeah, I was like,
There's the fool. Yeah.
yeah.
The playfulness.
Right. They're like, that's maybe
eggshell.
what's missing. Like there's a lot of like responsibilities I
And
can't.
celebrating.
Okay. Right?
It's like having a little parade around your house.
Right.
Right. You need a little levity.
Exactly. Yeah, things have been so heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's like an eagerness and like a push. I think summer too will be really good for you.
Right.
I think like being outside more, slowing down a little bit, like time with the kids, like whatever you can do that's really like, but feels good to you. Water, right? But yeah, it's the playful energy is. It's crazy that you said that and then the Fool came out.
Right.
I also pulled for us right before we started this, and I got the Fool.
Really?
Which is awesome.
That's
awesome. Like my favorite card.
I know it is your favorite card.
The author, or not the author of the tarot, but the tarot is all about the Fool.
Right.
The Fool's journey.
Yeah.
So it's fun being like the novice and the
right.
Like going like being the naive idiot that's just like, I can do this. Why not? Am I right?
Right.
We can start a podcast. What's not? Oh, I pulled us the world.
Oh.
That's awesome.
Say more.
And the Seven of Pentacles. The world is like, oh cool. I mean it's sky's the limit. Yeah. And then the Seven of Pentacles is like hard work.
Okay. Which makes sense.
Ace of Wands is like a really quick spark of inspiration. So it's like tuning into ourselves. But young
This reading
is just like, and it feels like relevant to like, it's not just us. Like
right.
energetically, I just feel like there's a whole, like the self-limiting beliefs, like figuring out what those are and like saying them out loud or writing them down. And then like, was that true? Or like, is that holding you back?
Yeah. Letting go of the power.
But it doesn't feel like this, like, okay. And then I've released it. Like, no, there's still hard work to do to like level up.
Yes.
But like that hard work, like finding those moments to take a step back to and like do the tarot pull, or like if that's too much for you, like go like sit outside or like take a second to yourself, and like that's when the inspiration. But it is a pull towards hard work.
When I stopped letting my thoughts, like my obsessive thoughts, run the show of like I need to do this, I need to do that, whatever, and it's just like 1 second of quiet, inspiration floods in always.
Yeah.
So it's just like okay, just fucking shut up, just get quiet for a second inside there, you know.
But I think it can be scary if you have momentum in something, or like you feel like you could need to stay relevant, or like that there's going to be some perception. Like perception, I think, is so hard to tune out. Or like we all obsess over what other people think of us, and people are never thinking of us, right?
Exactly.
I know, but it's so normal to we're all obsessed with ourselves. We're all disgusted.
But we shouldn't be, right? Who's going to be obsessed with us if we're not obsessed with ourselves?
That's true. All our biggest fears, baby.
Yeah.
On a silver platter. A lot of
them out. I love you.
I love you too.
Ugh.